You know, Reagan had a little incident yesterday. He gave his teammate a shot. You've got to be a little more careful. There's a little softer touch there.
Denny Hamlin getting a little bit of a bump and a boost from Kurt Busch. In practice, Hamlin went out with his rookie teammate Joey Logano, who's running third right now, and Hamlin shoved Logano all over the racetrack so Joey would know the feel of the catch and release of a car bump drafting with him at these speeds in these cars. And since it was practice, NASCAR told him to knock it off.
Yeah, and we were up here just about to jump out of the booth. I talked to Denny after practice, and he said he talked to Joey, and Joey said it wasn't bothering him a bit. He didn't know why NASCAR was upset.
You know, I've been watching the outside line. We're riding with Michael Waltrip in the 55 car, just right up through the middle. And, you know, Michael told us on our trackside show on Speed Friday night, he said, I know I can win this race on Sunday.
Well, he needs to. Yesterday had a bad day. You know, he's had a couple of bad weekends here. He needs to get it going, and this will be a great opportunity.
18 of 188 laps complete. Martin Truex Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Montoya with that push from Hamlin goes back into the lead. Let's go back to the garage and Steve.
Mike, Jamie McMurray also caught up in the big one, and Jamie, trouble early. There's a lot of damage to that 26. So glad you're okay, but how's that race car?
The Crown Royal Ford Fusion, it might be done. We're going to try to go out and at least run one lap to see if you can gain a couple of spots, but pretty big accident, and I don't know, the steering is so messed up, I don't know if we'll be able to get it back out.
Glad you're all right.
Thanks.
And guys, that's the issue now. I mean, you can get your car patched up, but we do have a minimum speed, and you can't just go out there and ride around in the way. You've got to run a relatively fast speed to be able to stay on the racetrack.
9 cars are in the garage as a result of that crash. Here comes Kurt Busch to lead.
And how about Jeff Burton in that 31 car? He actually had a little bit of damage from that wreck, and here he's up there on the inside battling for the lead.
Usually take a damaged race car, it'll run pretty good when it's in a draft. But when you get out front, if it'll run good out front, you don't have any significant damage.
"20 laps complete this time by. This is the battle for the lead. Jeff Burton, Kurt Busch, each trying to gain some advantage and stay out front. Jeff Burton leading Denny Hamlin, but they're 3 abreast, so how can you tell? Kurt Busch in there as well. Here's a question from Ask.com, official search engine of NASCAR. Get the answer now at Ask.com and enter the Ask.com NASCAR Challenge for a chance to win daily prizes and a trip to the track here at Talladega.
See, when you're a driver, you know what you're thinking right now. Well, we can have some fun now. All those guys that were going to wreck have already wrecked, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, Darrell, I think there's a couple of guys that may still be anticipating that we're not done yet. I've been watching them for the last few laps. They're kind of back there just lingering behind this big group. And it's Tony Stewart in that 14 car and his teammate Ryan Newman in the 39. I think they're exactly where they want to be right now, just kind of hanging out in the back.
Yeah, I kind of applaud that strategy, but man, sometimes when you're back there, you know, you can see the wreck, and that's the problem. It'd be better if you could see it in your rearview mirror.
Hey, several years ago at Daytona, Tony Stewart was up near the front of the pack, got caught up in a wreck. His teammate Bobby Labonte was hanging out way out behind it. They ended up one on top of the other.
Exactly.
So there's no safe strategy here.
Well, you can't stop these cars. You know, they're going 190 miles an hour. You don't run the big aggressive brake package here. You run a pretty small brake package. You're not going to stop the car.
Now, of the 9 cars involved in the crash, 4 are reported out of the race by NASCAR. The rest are reported off track and under repair. We'll update that for you in a bit, as some of those drivers want to go out and at least make a few laps and move up in the running order. Now, Kyle Busch, we saw a little bit of damage to the back of his car. Where else and what else, Matt?
Mike, he had significant cosmetic damage, especially in the right rear quarter panel area. It was completely ripped open. A couple layers of bare bond. They've repaired that. They repaired the right front bumper area. They really couldn't do much with the bumper in the back. You can see how that's still pushed open, but Busch really hasn't made any comments about the handling of the car. Twice in practice, Mike, he went from the back to the front. He's trying to do it for a third time here in the race.
And they're not going to worry about that rear bumper being tucked up under there like that. That's actually an advantage. You get that rear bumper up out. Matter of fact, there was a time when a guy's rear bumper fell off intentionally.
Bobby Allison, Daytona 500. Bumpergate.
Bumpergate
was the resultant investigation.
I tell you what, here is a guy that I am so happy for today, Joe Nemechek. He's been one of the go-or-go-homers all year long. He's made all but 2 races. He's got a little bit of sponsorship from the Maui Shower Company that makes portable showers, and here he is running up in the top 5. This could be an opportunity for him to really cash in today.
Well, he said yesterday on our speed qualifying show, he said, I'd just love to get a sponsor so we can run all day and put on a good show for somebody. That prayer got answered.
And you know what? Good things happen to good people. He left here Friday after practice and flew all the way back to North Carolina for his daughter for a father-daughter dance, and then came back for qualifying.
Got something going on with the 31, Mike. I think Krista knows what it is.
Yeah, DW, Jeff Burton just came on the radio and said, guys, I have no volts, everything's shut down, I've got nothing. Scott Miller just said, get the battery ready.
Loss of electric power. Now, he and Denny Hamlin were just pounding the crap out of each other.
Are backing it down.
Could they have knocked something loose that's preventing the electrical system from functioning properly?
They were hitting each other hard enough, you know, to knock the battery cable loose or any number of things. So they were banging on each other.
You know, the one thing, and I'm sure Krista will dig into this a little deeper, a lot of teams, a lot of cars have a backup battery that you can just go to, but it sounds like they possibly did not have one in this car.
Caution's out.
Debris on the racetrack.
Larry, he didn't stop in his pit. I think I heard him say, I'm back. I think he said, I got it back.
Well, you know what? That would have been a good move regardless, though, with the caution coming out.
Now it's back down to 8.
Back down to 8 volts on the meter. That's not good.
But this caution, I'm going to tell you, it's a great benefit for that 31 car.
It is if it doesn't stop over on the back straightaway.
Piece of debris from this bumping and banging, and perhaps from the lap 8 crash, is up against the wall about 300 yards past the start-finish line. If we can get the cause, we'll be glad to show it to you, but it puts us under the second caution flag of the day. There it is up against the wall, center of your screen.
Right in there.
Yep. Not sure if that's metal or a big pile of the tape that was on the nose of Joe Nemechek's car, perhaps.
And you know who else isn't sure? NASCAR isn't sure, and so they have to throw the caution to make sure.
As you have witnessed, there's no such thing as out of the groove here. The entire racetrack, top to bottom's the groove. I think this comes at a very timely time, as far as I think you'll see most everybody come to pit road, probably get 4 fresh tires, fill it up with Sunoco race fuel, and good to go for a while.
Yeah, and some of the cars that maybe still have a little minor damage, chance to work on those, and trying to get the old Pepsi Challenger patched back up. The Bud car, it's looking a lot better. It's got a hood on it.
Yeah, it didn't when it came in.
But these guys really have to critique what they're doing here, because NASCAR only gives you one opportunity to get the car right out there.
There you go. There's what flew off of.
That is a big chunk of tape, and I believe that is off Joe Nemechek's
I think
car.
it's actually Regan Smith, the 78
Oh, excuse
car.
me,
Yeah,
Regan Smith.
Yep.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of damage on his car. Now what's going on here, the battery is located in front of the left rear tire, and so they're changing that battery out. It has a quick disconnect. You can about do it here normally and not lose a lap.
Pit road's open. Dick?
Matt Kenseth says a clean drive in. He was running in the second position when that caution flag came out. Upside down yesterday in the nationwide race. Things are going well for him today. He's got a little bit of cosmetic damage in the car, Steve.
Kurt Busch says that number 2 car is good, Dick. Put a little tape off the grill. 4 tires for Kurt Busch and a wedge adjustment, Matt.
No changes for Kyle Busch in the 18, just right side tires and 1 can of fuel, Krista.
4 tires for Jimmy Johnson. Chad Canal said, how is your car? Jimmy said, quote, it feels like a dream.
Boy, Elliott Sadler jumps right out there. picking up 4 positions. Now, Matt Kenseth had a quick stop, but he got pinned behind cars coming onto pit road and didn't have a clear lane to get down there in a hurry.
He killed the engine trying to leave the pit box. I got him behind.